So it happened, I would say, probably around 10 years ago. I first met Dean Michael Komarak, and I met him in Asia. We went to the same conference, and he talked about his work on biochar, and I'm also working on biochar. So that's how it got started. So Dean Komarak, introduced me to Lukáš Trakal, and that's when everything got started. We started talking. We were talking about some of the common research ideas and things like that. And then what happened is he invited me for a workshop visit here in 2020. And then it never happened because of the COVID pandemic. So since then, we have been talking, via email. We've done some, workshop together online, of course, that time because of the pandemic. So to me, this is sort of like a redemption visit to Prague and to Czechia, because I've never been to Prague and Czechia. I said, I got to do it. I have my sabbatical year. I have to do it. I have to come and make that redemption for that pandemic, missing the trip for the pandemic. So that's how it got started. I think it's a really active unit, the Faculty of Environmental Science itself. I think, I see a lot of good research. I see a lot of, top-notch researchers. I end up talking to many different individuals, and they're doing great work, great research. They care a lot about what they're doing. They have passion, and Czechia itself, I think, is on the upward trend in terms of, technology and research. I can see how it's going to grow, as one of the leading countries in the world. I think it's catching up with other countries in Europe, especially Western Europe, quickly. So I think, I see a lot of future, a lot of promise, with university, with Czechia, and with Faculty of Environmental Science in general. I would say I'm really impressed. That's the word I would use. I did so many different things. I think Lukáš Trakal is a great host. First thing is that we did put together a proposal, although, Lukáš put most of the effort, and his team, of course, Suska, did put together a nice proposal, a Czech-US proposal, that look at removal of pharmaceuticals, dangerous pharmaceuticals from urine, because that's where most pharmaceuticals contaminants are in urine. So we're looking at separating urine, okay, as an individual stream, and try to remove pharmaceuticals, and then also try to recover nutrient N and P as a source of fertilizer in the process of removing that pharmaceutical using biochar. So that's the proposal that we put together. Hopefully it's going to get funded. And then, of course, I did so many field trips. One of the field trips is with students, graduate students. I did give a lecture during that field trip. I did give some advices on different experiments. I tour the faculty. I look at different labs, and I gave some advices. I also gave a public lecture. So these are just some of the examples of activities. There's so many things going on. Like I said, Lukáš is a great host. Absolutely, I see more and more applied research here compared to the US. The US, you see some applied research, and you see quite a bit of fundamental research. Seems like research here, people always want to look at, the real world in terms of the application, and then I see a lot of field scale and pilot scale, research is not limited to labs. Even like your buildings, university itself has been turned into a living lab. So each building has its own, rain garden and wetland treatment system and things like that. And that's not very common in the US, that you turn a university itself as a living lab, especially a natural living lab that has all this water recycling and things like that. Experiment, it's amazing how you collect data from, within university itself, using university as, a research field. It's something that is amazing. It's not very common. Oh, of course. The first thing is architecture is amazing. There's nowhere else. I travel to different countries around this region, and I feel like, Prague has the most to offer in architecture. It's amazing everywhere you go. The most memorable thing is, I think it's not a surprise to all of you. I am fascinated with beer. So what Lukáš did for me, he hooked me up with University Brewmaster. So I learned how to brew beer. For the first time in my life, I understand how beer is being brewed, and I learned a lot. And that's going to be one of my dream jobs after I retire. That maybe I will brew my own beer, and maybe I'll sell my beer. So, but that learning experience, one whole day of going through from the beginning, on how beer is being brewed until the end, is amazing. So that will stick with me. I use the word hidden gem. Czechia, Prague, the university itself. These are all hidden gems. People don't know a lot about the country, about the city and university, but there are a lot of great things going on, as I mentioned, about great research, great people, laid-back environment, and it's a very affordable place. I mean, the entire country is not too expensive and it's not too cheap. I think everything does make sense. I mean, it's very reasonable in terms of the progression of the country, of university, as well as the cost of living. I can see, like I said, I see an upward trend here because of so many different good factors. Just a matter of people discover this place more and more. Right now they are hidden gems. I think they're waiting. Sooner or later people will discover this is a great place. I would say think more about the impact of your research. Like I said, here, you think about, the application side, how research is translated to people. A lot of great outreach programs, on how research can help people. So, a lot of my work is very fundamental in nature. When I come here, it opened my eye that, at the end, it's all about, how your research is impacting people. And what I'm seeing now with my work is that it's going to be more and more field work, of course, the work that create real impact on people, not focusing on publication and things like that. So, like I said, hidden gems, great place, very affordable, people are very welcoming. I mean, my stress level, here compared to the US is much less. I think, and great work can be done here. You can get both sides of the world, the laid-back side, the easy-going side, as well as, producing great work with great people. So.
Okay. Dear Professor, thanks for your visit and for this interview.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.